Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Lex and Lace podcast. I'm your host, Lexi. I'm here. I'm alright. This week, I'm in Mozambique, so I'm in Maputo currently. You can say it's my hometown. It's where I'm from. So I'm here. Festivities are coming up. So all of the Christmases, all the New Year's and stuff. So gotta be here near the fam, seeing the fam. It's been good seeing the fam. I'm gonna see a lot more of the fam. This week's episode will be very AI focused. And by AI focused, I mean I'm gonna be talking about something that I have been seeing in the works for a minute. We're gonna be talking about Series. If you don't know what Series is, I'll explain it in the next segment, but all I can say is that we're going to be talking about Series. And when I first saw these guys, I wasn't paying attention. I was just seeing AI social network, I said, what even is that? And slowly but surely, I saw these guys grow. I saw them do all these different things, and I was just there there are people in this world who are switched on. I think there's people who are stereotypically switched on, and it's kind of damn, they really gotta fight for what they got kind of thing. They really have to hustle. And you can really tell the difference between someone who's who they're really tapped in, and they're really switched on, and they're really on the job about something. And then someone who's just there, just kind of trying to, live their life. I like to think that I'm switched on. I like to think that I'm tapped in. Sometimes I don't particularly feel that way. Sometimes I feel as though what I have done, I would say, professionally is, inadequate compared to sort of, the expectations that I personally have on myself, and also the expectations that other people would have on me, given sort of my, let's say, privileged background, or the ability to have been privileged to have lived in various countries, or even have studied in really good institutions and schools and stuff. So that is something that I'm consistently battling with. I'm not gonna say it's imposter syndrome. I just think that you're kind of you look at your life and you're you have a certain expectations of how things are going to go, and then when it doesn't fit that expectation, you end up feeling very, I'm not gonna say depressed, but you just end up feeling very inadequate and not up to par with other people who may have studied with you, etc. But everybody's circumstances are different, everybody's journeys are different, and at the end of the day we might reach the same goal, just how we got there is very different. So yeah, this is an AI focused episode. So if this is not what you are into, actually no, I'm gonna stop saying that, because this is a good one. These people inspire me. I look at these guys and what they've created, and I'm nah guys, I need to get like them. And maybe they kind of did inspire me to start this podcast, because what the hell, what is stopping you from doing a podcast? What is stopping you from doing what you want to do? Okay, money, time, but if it's something that doesn't require lots of monetary investment, and it's something you can do directly on your phone, on your laptop, or whatever, I say go for it. I have a friend who says, he's always you're only 24 once. And it's yeah, for real, you're only gonna be that age that you are currently one time. So you better take advantage of it. And if you are unhappy where you are currently in your life, how can you improve it? Yeah, certain things are circumstantial, but it's what else can you do to improve your current situation? Or rather, what is something you can do to make yourself happier that day, in that moment? You know what I mean? That can lead to maybe potential long-term happiness. Do you know what I mean? those are the things you have to start thinking about. And that's what I mean by there are certain people in this life who are switched on. They are on job. And then there are those who aren't. I don't know. I don't know where I stand. I like to think I'm switched on. I think I can always be more switched on. So every day I have to get in that bag. I have to get into that mindset. But let me not overdo it because I don't want it to get toxic enough. Anywho, next segment. And we're back. Yeah, let's talk about Series. What is Series? Basically, Series is a AI-powered social networking platform. So it was started by these two Yale students. I think they're gonna graduate next year, but it's like they're called Nathaniel Johnson and Sean Hargrove. I hope that I'm saying their names right. They're also started by other people, but like now they're like former employees and stuff. So it's designed to create real, meaningful connections. And how I found out about them is that they were able to raise $3.1 million like pre-seed funding by a bunch of various investors. I'm talking like the Reddit CEO, Tim Draper, GPT-0. Like they did all of this in like 14 days, right? Which is crazy. And this is what I mean by like these people are like so inspiring, because it's like these guys are like what, like 21, 22, and like this is what they were able to do. And what I was reading when I was like keeping up with it, mind you, I found out about this like 5 months ago, so around like July. And like because I don't remember how it happened, but I think I came across Nathaniel first, so I was just like, yeah, cool, let me add as a connection. And then I see my man's doing different things, and I'm like, who is this? What's going on? And I was like looking, and yeah, these guys basically built a social networking platform within iMessage. That's how it happened. And how it works is that basically the Series allows the users to chat with an AI friend over iMessage or SMS about the type of connection that they're looking for. So let's say you're looking for like a co-founder, an investor, a mentor, or just like anything in general. Then that AI agent will search within the Series network to find you a match. So I'm reading off of Business Insider here. They're saying that, for instance, I got assigned an AI friend called Stevie, who told me over text that he would start scouting for the best connections and hit me up once its other AI friends all over it in order to find the connection that they're looking for. So I think it's like users opt in to match. So it's like a thing where it's like it's AI, but it's also people. So basically what they're trying to simulate is a warm introduction at the end of it, because at first, yes, you're going to be texting an AI, but then that AI will find you the like human match, if that makes sense. So it's AI friends that live in iMessage to make warm, double opt-in introductions based on mutual value. And from what I was like also researching and what I've gathered about them over the past few like months is that they didn't really want to create like any meta like social networking platform, because they didn't want to make a social networking platform that was based off of like followers, likes, and comments, but rather based on like actual like community and trust and like building, you know, like just building a connection. But the first introduction is originally made via an AI bot, if that makes sense. So from what I found out, you initially needed to sign up using your school email, so like your uni email, for example, because that automatically created like a student like focused community. But I think now they have expanded it to like they've expanded it to others. So it's like, because I read either like through Nathaniel's LinkedIn how he wants to expand to like consulting, law, and other just like sectors in general. So I think right now it can work via your cell phone. Because I know initially it was like only on the website, but now if you, I think this is mainly for +1 numbers. So if you're in Canada, Mexico, or the US, maybe it also works for the UK. Because I did see that they have some UK unis on there, which you can like sign up using. So yeah, basically, if you just text it on iMessage now and be like, hey, what is a text that they ask you for? Because I did try to text, but it didn't work. Let me try and look for it, because I'm intrigued now. I think it was something like, oh yeah, you text, who are you going to connect me with on Series? That's what you text. And I think that's like super cool. Yeah, like, or you text like, hi, I'm this person, I'm ready to join Series. Da, da, da. Like, dude, I think this is so cool. Like, I think this is like the coolest thing to come out of the internet recently. And I would say this year specifically. So how did this even come about? So the idea began as the Founder Series podcast, because what I was reading was that this guy Nathaniel and like his friend Sean, they were part of the same, like, let's say, what is it, entrepreneurial society at Yale, yeah. But I guess they felt that the other ones were too slow. I don't know, yeah. Or they felt like their ideas weren't being heard properly, so they wanted to start a podcast initially. And then I guess within that, they linked up. They saw that they were on the same, like, you know, wavelength and whatever. So they decided to build Series. So the Founder Series podcast grew into a viral chatbot connecting students at Yale and Princeton. And since launching, the platforms has over 32,000 messages. I think they're at about like 500k messages. I think they're at about I have to like check the stats. Obviously I don't check every day because like it's not I'm not part of the team like that. But yeah, so as part of that Business Insider like article, the vision is that Siri wants to rebuild social net connection by removing vanity metrics and bias. And the founders plan to expand into finance, education, dating, and health, with a long-term goal of creating 1 billion AI friends, a global AI-driven warm network. And the reason I say I found out about these guys through various portals was because they've already been featured on Forbes, Entrepreneur, Business Insider, POCIT, Complex, and BET. Like, these are two 21-year-old black guys, black men actually, who just did this being full-time students, by the way. Now, clearly they needed to be at that Ivy League because these guys are so switched on. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's actually a madness. Like, every time I read about these guys, something new is happening. And what I also like about them is that they've, like, been able to, like, be so authentic and true to themselves. Like, I think maybe there's like an expectation that, you know what, like you're a black person in tech, you're not gonna make it, or it's gonna be difficult for you, or you're gonna have to like tone it down. But like these guys are there rocking their afros, rocking the clothes that they like to wear, like no problems at all, whatever it is. And I'm just there like, I respect it wholeheartedly. Like, I think it was over the summer, I would see some of their LinkedIn posts and I'm just there like, guys, surely this isn't gonna be what, like, quote-unquote investors want to see. But it's kind of like, you know what, screw that. Like, they were able to do it. And I think that the reason that they were able to do is that they were able to appeal to a younger audience. And they're not necessarily appealing to, like, the old guys who, like, gatekeep the business world. You know what I mean? So, big ups to them. Like, really and truly, congratulations. They'll probably never know who I am. And if they do know who I am, that's so cool. If I could interview them one day, I totally would. Like, they are so inspiring and they give me so much hope for the youth. Because the way that what I was reading about them is that also, like, apparently they're the first in their families to go to uni and stuff. And I'm just there like, if that is the case for real, like, that's insane. Like, that's what I mean, that like there are people in this world who are switched on. Like, these guys, they're like entrepreneurial society. They're saying, You guys are slow. You guys aren't seeing my ideas. Who here is on my wavelength? They linked and they did something. They didn't wait to, oh, let me finish uni. Nah, I can do it same time. Dude, like, looking back on my uni experience and what I was doing, I very much said, damn, I was not doing enough. Clearly, my ass was not doing enough. Clearly. Which sucks, because now it's like you think about your life and you're like, could I have done more? And it's like, of course you could have done more, but it's like, do I regret not doing more? That's another question. You see, that's another question completely. But all I can say is that these guys fucking rule. They're so cool. They're cool as hell. I can't deny it. Actually, I should text my friend about this because he is a perfect candidate for these people. He's switched on like them. Let me text my switched on friends and be like, guys, this is what you should be doing. Connect with these boys because they know exactly what's going on. Anywho, yeah, next segment. And we're back. See what I mean by these guys are so impressive? Like, this is a direct post from Nathaniel's LinkedIn. He says, Sean and I just made Forbes 30 under 30 for Building Series, the largest social network of 2025. It's safe to say that this is the beginning of the craziest year of my life. January, Series was merely an idea, looked into iMessage APIs. February, we iterated to create our first MVP with 100 beta users. March, held a beta cohort with 2,000 students across 50 countries. Really? April, announced the most viral fundraiser of college entrepreneurship. Yeah, because apparently, like, in terms of, like, Ivies or even, like, college entrepreneurs, they've made the most amount of money, like, record in, like, pre-seed funding, which is crazy. May, sourced the founding team for Series. Yeah, because I saw it was them two plus 2 other people. And I was like, what are these guys on? June, got our first office, 1,000 square feet in Hudson Yards, and they hit 250 messengers. And I'm like, dude, y'all got an office in Hudson Yards. You see these things that come up into your mind and you're like, how are you doing this right now? Like, where do you find the time, dedication, etc. to be able to do this? Like, it's wild to me. Like, that is absolutely insanity. I don't get it. Like, I'd be confused as hell. Like, dude, in this life, you'll meet people or you'll read about people who are just truly inspiring. Lol, they deserve the Nobel Peace Prize, for sure. Then, in July, they announced the series, like the reality TV show that they filmed in the Hamptons. When I tell you, how it happened is basically, this is what I mean by things are just happening in their life, because one day I open LinkedIn, I see we're introducing the series, a 2-week reality TV show in the Hamptons for a cash prize of $100,000. We're selecting 12 interns to join us in a multi-million-dollar house to live, eat, and breathe series. Every day, the intern who brings in the least users is flown back home. And then they worked with like a major production company and everything. So it's like literally how they did it is like they talk about comment what time you went to sleep and I'll send you the link to apply. Do you see the craziness that be happening? Like, insanity. And throughout the whole summer, they were just doing stuff like this. They were just like announcing things on LinkedIn. And I'm like, yo, what is happening? Who are these people? So then that happened. August, filmed the series, launched V3 and hit 500,000 messengers. September, decided to stay in Yale University for 2026. October, signed the first lease for a new HQ in New York. November, launched the first LinkedIn UGC program. And then now December, they made Forbes 30 under 30. Dude. You see people, first of all, luck. Second of all, dedication, time, effort, all those things. Because how do you do this? Like, how are you able to do this? Like, I cannot even imagine doing all of that and being a full-time student. Like, I know that American uni is like, American college system is way more, let me not say rigorous, but like they have way more contact hours than the ones in the UK. Because it's like, the UK, you really have like one lecture per week, depending on how many modules you're taking. Like, let's say you take 4 modules, that's like, what is it, like maybe 8 hours of lectures total during in a whole week. And then maybe you'll have tutorials, but that's 1 hour. So it's like, in total, you're not really going to be in school a whole lot. You're maybe going to have 12 hours of uni, and then the rest is all like independent study. So I think for them, they have more of a jam-packed schedule, timetable. And that's if you obviously attend full time, which I doubt these guys are attending. If you're doing all of this, how are you in uni? When are you studying? When are you submitting assignments? When are you studying for exam? I have so many questions. So I'm like, I would love to have them on the pod. You know what? Maybe I have to figure out how to get serious. 1, 2, reach out to them and be like, yo, bro, like, what are you doing? How are you doing it? How did you do it? But I think it would be more interesting to like talk about their journey once they've also graduated and be like, okay, looking back, like, how did y'all even do this? Because there are switched on people in this life. Not only that, I was waiting in line the other day, and this woman was talking to me about how she's like she's a lecturer, but she's also a mom of 2, and then she's also doing an LLB, and then she's also doing a PhD in like business management and like something to do with business. And I'm just there like, that is absolutely insane. And I was like, how come you're doing an LLB when you already have all these other qualifications? Mind you, this woman was talking about, yeah, I'm on my 3rd master's. And I'm like, huh? How are you on your 3rd master's? And I was like, why are you doing an LLB? And she goes, yeah, I'm doing an LLB because, there's some like things within business law that I want to know more about. But it's like, I'd rather like know it in its entirety as opposed to just, so I'm like, why don't you just learn what you need to learn in terms of business? Goes, nah, I like to study, like I'm an academic, like I'm interested. I thought, maybe I could just do it myself. And I'm like, do it yourself. She took DIY to a whole other level. She said, you know what? Business law. Nah, I don't need to know a few things. Let me just do the whole thing and then like figure it out on my own. Craziness. Absolute insanity. That's what I mean. Like, there's just certain people on this earth who, you see, what was it? Molly May was like, oh, there's 24 hours in a day. No, for these people, there's 48 hours in a day because they're able to do things that I could never do in 24 hours. Really and truly. Honest to God. How do they do it? Baffles me. Beyond me. I don't even know how the hell that happens. That's crazy. Like, what? Huh? Bro. I don't even know what to say. Every day, I'm baffled. Every day, I honestly, sure. There are people that are switched on in this life, like fully switched on. Like, they wake up and they breathe in productivity. They wake up and they breathe in maximum capacity brain power. What does that even mean? I couldn't even tell you. But I'm just excited to see what else they do apart from graduate next year. Because what I saw is that they were launching things on college campuses, and they were like, dude, I feel like their world like turned completely upside down in 1 year's time. And I think it just goes to show that like the way you start the year is really not the way that you will end the year. I think that's really what it is. This year for me started in like a completely different way to how it is right now. And this is something that I was lamenting with my therapist as well. I was kind of like, dude, it feels like I've been put through a whirlwind. And not necessarily a good one either. But, I've had some like hidden gems, like, or just like moments that I've cherished come along this year that I didn't really expect, or like just like good things that have happened to me this year that I really didn't expect. So it's like this year has been the most like, I think 2020 and 2025 for me have been like the most like the least certain years of my life. Like everything that happened to me in 2020 was completely uncalled for. Like I don't even know how to describe that. So much uncertainty, so many emotions, just everything was just turned upside down. And this is how I feel about 2025. Like I started the year in one way and I thought it was gonna end in a very specific way, but from January till now my life is completely different. Like it's crazy. Like it's actually a madness. Like I don't know if it's necessarily a madness in a good way or in a bad way, but it's like some blessings have come my way surprisingly, and I think all I can really do is just like be grateful for everything that's come my way, be grateful for all the knowledge that I've accumulated this year, all of the lessons that I've learned, all of the people that have like either left my life or come into my life, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's all I can really say. Like I'm not a religious person, but I'm gonna take a blessing or two. Like thanks for the blessings. Whoever's praying for me, pray a little bit harder. Your girl's still struggling, y'all. Yeah, bro. Like I don't even know what to say. All I can say is that these boys are people to look out for and to watch out for, because they're gonna do amazing things. If not today, which they probably have already done, def next year, and def in the lifetime that they have ahead of them. I really hope this goes well. Usually I'm so pessimistic about AI, but mind you, I haven't used their software, so I don't really know how it works, but I love the concept. I love the idea. I like everything that they're doing. Like, I think it's super cool, and they're probably going to come up with more crazy, wacky AI-related ideas, and I'll honestly be there to watch it all happen, because they seem cool as fuck. So shout out the Series boys. Hey, I really enjoyed making this episode. I think I enjoyed doing the research for it. I enjoyed learning more about certain people. I'm like, this is the first time I've done like an episode about like a specific person and like, or a specific company, and I think they're really cool. So I really just want to thank the listener for listening to me throughout all of my yaps. I know that it's not easy to be able to like sit down and listen to someone's like podcast and like see if it's gonna like match with what you want to like listen to that day and stuff, but I certainly enjoy podcasting and listening and you researching for the podcast and like being engaged in certain things. I think that was primarily my idea behind this podcast, is that I'm able to do something that like lights a fire in me, and like these are really the stories that I like to be able to talk about, like whether it's AI focused, whether it's low focused, whether it's fashion focused. Like these are the stories that I enjoy actually like doing a deep dive on and being able to like share it and like share my opinions about it and share like what it might mean for the future of like our world, essentially, whether that's from a legal standpoint or others. So yeah, guys, watch out for it. If you're able to get Series, literally get it. Watch out for it, because I wouldn't be surprised if these guys take over the world. Like they're already doing some like cool shit right now. In 5 years, we don't even know where they'll be, and they definitely won't be in a 9 to 5. That's for sure. They will be creating. They will be doing crazy things. And yeah, like I am really super excited to see where they end up, and hopefully it's not the first time that we're going to be hearing about Series, because given what has already happened to them this year, like next year I'm sure they're going to blow up like even more. I'm like 1,000% sure. Like I expect nothing less from these boys. They probably have a great team behind them, because they have like I see that they have like they've been hiring people. So if you're on the job, if you're in New York and you want something in tech and you want to like be around young people, this might be for you, bro, for real. But you probably have to be super like locked in and like tapped into whatever it is that they be doing. So yeah, look out for them. So yeah, as promised, I told you guys that I would do a podcast that is way more chilled and relaxed this week, because yeah, last week was quite intense, but I also enjoyed it. You see, I enjoy really doing deep dives into certain like things so that I can really like get a feel for it and like be able to talk about it from an informed place and point of view. I would hate to like half-ass anything that I share on this podcast, really and truly. So next week, honestly, I don't know what to expect from next week. I'll always find something to talk about. Maybe I'll have a guest on. Maybe I won't have a guest on. We'll see. Either way, I drop every week, so you can always expect that. Usually Wednesdays or Thursdays. So that is always something to expect. And you should also expect us to be live on YouTube and Apple Podcasts very soon. I want to say... Actually, let me not even set that expectation, but I want to say it by the end of this month. That's something I definitely want to be able to do. So, you know, do the typical thing, like, comment, subscribe, and please share it with everybody you know. We need to get our numbers up. Come on, man. I'm trying to get my series on. Did you get? Yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, follow the whole 9.